everyone, it is me, Elise, and today is the first episode of SpeakElise. Yay! As this is the first episode of SpeakElise, which is going to be like a monthly segment I'm going to try to do, where I kind of talk about things and issues that might be going on in your life and sort of relay some of my personal life experience and hope that it can help you and provide you with some advice. And all that being done whilst I drink something. Originally it was going to be alcohol because of the whole speakeasy, SpeakElise kind of thing, but then I was like, I'm a student, I don't have that much money to be buying alcohol every month. So tea and coffee and hot chocolate and juice perhaps is what it's going to be. So anyway, let's go. So this month I wanted to talk about something quite simple, but also something that may apply to a lot of viewers and a lot of people watching this video, which is university. So I am in my third year at university, so sort of what I'm going to be saying is sort of tips and tricks and ideas that I've picked up from my first 2 years, and then also stuff that I'm still picking up because I still have a heck of a lot to learn. So they're just some like ideas and advice and tips that will make your university life, your university career so much easier and just make it more pleasant rather than being stressed and anxious and having an awful time, because I've been there, it's not fun. So the first bit of advice that I want to provide to you is go to class. Like, you might think, that is a really obvious thing to say, but it honestly is amazing how many people don't show up to class and then they think that they can breeze through the exams and assignments and tests and all that sort of thing. You can't. Your professor, if they are a good professor and they know what they're doing, they will be teaching stuff in the class that will not be in your textbook. And so if you do not have that class time, that class experience, then you just won't get the information that you need to get through your exams. And also going to class is an incredible thing because these people that are spending their time teaching, they know so much and they have so much knowledge. And if it's an area that you're really interested in, then you are missing out on so much if you don't go to class. So go to class, pay attention, take notes, and your university life will be more pleasant. My tea is too hot. I'm one of those really weird people who have to wait like half an hour after pouring the tea to drink it, because then by then it's lukewarm and I can chug it. I can't drink hot things, so I'm just going to be holding this for the entire video and not drinking it. Tip number 2. Go to your prof's office hours. Do it. Profs have to have office hours. It is in their contract with the university. They have to provide office hours for their classes, for their students, so that students can go to them. And not many people show up. So you have lonely profs sitting in their offices doing nothing for an hour and a half, just hoping that someone will show up. And trust me, they want you to show up. They want you to take their time and ask questions, have concerns, talk to them about their research. They would be so happy to talk about their research. Because as I said before, these are people with so much knowledge about their field of expertise, and the amount of information you could get out of them is incredible. And also it shows your prof that you are really into the subject that you're taking. You are really interested and you're really turned in to sort of what they want. And also some profs actually will perhaps grade you on going to office hours. Some people will kind of look, like some profs will kind of look at you and go, hey, this person knows what they're doing, they want to learn more, they want to get good grades. Okay, cool, I'll remember that. And also it's a brilliant way to get to know your profs. So you can kind of go and talk to them and see what they're all about. See if your learning style will work with theirs, or if it doesn't, ask them how they can work together to help you. Office hours are such a good way to get to know your prof. And also if you have questions about assignments, and they have office hours, go see them. It doesn't matter if it's at 8:30 in the morning, go and see them. They would be so happy to talk to you about your assignment and questions that you might have. Even if you think that the smallest questions, just showing the initiative to turn up at their office hours, it's a good thing. It will put you in their good boat, good shoes, good graces. They will be happy to see you, trust me. Because I go to a small university, we don't have teaching assistants in our classrooms, and so perhaps your prof might not have office hours, but your TA will. So it's the same thing, go and see your TA, ask them questions. They're a student as well, they've been through what you're going through, and they'll be able to offer you so much advice about the subject, the prof, because they will know the prof very well. They will have an in-depth knowledge of how they work. So TAs and profs are an incredible asset to you and your learning at university. The third piece of advice I want to give is about note-taking. So this may not work for everyone, but this is personally how I take notes, and it really works for me. So I will take notes in class, I will take down what the prof is saying and the lecture notes on the slides, and my classroom notes are an absolute mess. Like, I just use a black pen and then a highlighter, and it's just scribbles and arrows and lines everywhere. But then when I get home, or sometime later after the class, I will recopy those notes. And it's actually a psychologically proven fact that writing in blue helps you remember things easier. So I will recopy all my notes into a notebook in a blue pen. And I just find that a really, really good way to kind of go over all of the information that I have learnt in class and just make sure that I really do remember it and I really do understand it. So as I'm copying down notes, if there is something I don't understand, I can make a note of that, and then I can go and see the prof, or I can send them an email and just be like, hey, I didn't understand this, can you explain this more? And then I can add that in once I get an answer. So it's a really, really good way to make sure that you really do understand what is going on in class. And the same goes about taking notes for your textbook. Now, you may be sitting there kind of going, oh, I really hate reading textbooks, they're so boring and long. Profs have chosen them for a reason. And yeah, it sucks when the textbook is dry and boring. Trust me, I have an anthropology research methods textbook. That is not fun to read. However, you have to do it, you have to read it. The prof has chosen this textbook for a specific reason, in the fact that it follows what the prof is teaching, and it provides a wealth of knowledge that you need to know. So unfortunately, it sucks. You gotta read the textbooks. But to make sure that you really are understanding them, take notes. Make sure that you get down all these little intricate things that the textbook says, because for some classes, the prof might not teach specifically what is in the textbook, but there might be textbook and in-class material on your exams. So it's a really, really good idea to read the textbook. So yeah, take notes in class, make them as messy and as scribbly, as long as you can understand them, as you want. And then when you get to a later time in the day, or when you have a spare moment, recopy those notes. Make sure you understand them, make sure you know what they're about, because chances are they will be on exams and tests, so you gotta know it, you have to do it. So my next tip for you is, if you are living in residence, or even if you're not living in residence and you just, this may apply to you as well. So when I first moved in to residence in my very first year, I was terrified. I didn't know anyone, because I'm from Ontario and now I live in New Brunswick. No one from my school went to this little tiny university in Fredericton, New Brunswick. No one. So I had no clue who anyone was. I didn't know anyone. I'd never been to the Maritimes before. So I was terrified. But I had a roommate, and so I kind of latched onto my roommate and I was like, hey, we're gonna be doing stuff together, cool? And she was like, yeah, that's cool with me, I don't know anyone either. So I was like, okay, this is good. And also, something that the university did was that they had specifically designed activities for first years to get you out of your room, to get you meeting people, to get you familiar with the city and the campus. And I cannot recommend those activities more. They are such a good idea, especially for those of you who may be a bit nervous about meeting people. I can assure you everyone else is just as nervous as you are, especially if they're not from the town that the university is in. They are scared and they are worried that they're not going to meet anyone and they're not going to have anyone close to. You will find so many people. University is an incredible experience for meeting people that are just so sure of themselves, and then also people who are still learning about themselves and still learning how to become who they want to be. And university is an incredible time for this because there is such a free and pleasing atmosphere about it that it is just wonderful. So I can assure you that there are so many people also worried about how people view them and how people will treat them. Trust me, you'll be okay. But if you stay in your residence room, if you don't go out and do these things, then I'm going to be frank, it's not going to be a fun experience, because being alone, being solitary is so detrimental to your mental health. It's not a good thing at all. So get out of your room, go to these activities, meet people, just go up to someone and go, hey, my name's so-and-so. Have you been to this part of the university? Do you want to go find it together? Or, hey, have you done this activity yet? Do you want to go together? Especially if they look kind of scared and worried, take initiative, go up to them, be like, yo, let's be pals, let's go do this. We got each other, yeah? And chances are they'll be like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. Trust me, you'll be happy. You'll have met someone. And honestly, like, some of my best friends are people that I met on the first day of school, like moving day, first day of school. So it's honestly worth it. That way you can make really strong connections with the people that you're going to be seeing for the next 4 years. And so the last and final tip for this video that I want to give you about your university experience is have fun. It is stressful, it does get tough, but don't let it overwhelm you. Make sure that you understand the material. If you don't understand the material, go see the prof, talk to other students in the class, and you'll be able to help each other out. It's not supposed to be a place that you hate. And if you do hate it, I don't think you're in the right program, the right university. Perhaps university isn't for you. University isn't for everyone. It's just a fact, and there's nothing wrong about it. There's no real reason why university is or isn't for particular people. It's just the way it is. But university is a time to be enjoyed. It's an incredible time of your life where you can meet new people, discover new things about you, discover what you want to do with your life. I went into university knowing that I wanted to do anthropology and knowing that I wanted to do something with physical forensic anthropology. That was what I wanted to do. I'm now in my third year and I'm doing a double major in anthropology and psychology because I love psychology. I didn't realise that I would be doing 2 majors. I thought I'd be doing 1 and I'd be like, hey, cool, this is fun. No, I'm doing 2 now, so woo. But I didn't know that when I first walked in those doors. Like, I had no clue. So it's just an incredible time to sort of figure out things about yourself. And also, if you live in residence, if you're away from home, you don't have the parentals watching over you. You can do whatever the heck you want. Within reason and legally, of course. Please. So, you know, just have fun. It's a time to be enjoyed, and yes, it does get stressful. I've been there. I've been crying at 3 AM because I didn't understand a paper that was due the next day. It happens. Don't let it overcome you. Don't let it overwhelm you. And go see profs. As I said earlier, office hours. Go talk to your profs. They want to help you. They want you to succeed. No prof is sitting there going, ha ha ha, how can I make these students fail? It's just not how they work. It's not how a decent human works. So go to your profs. Go to your classmates. find online Facebook groups. Like, we have a massive Facebook group for our graduating year at my university, and people use it all the time to send out information about clubs and societies and activities happening, and then also questions about classes. It's a wonderful place to be. And I find that so many people that I know have flourished over the past 3 years that I've known them. They were small, meek, quiet, and now they're social butterflies and some of the brightest people that I know. So university really is a wonderful experience, and it shouldn't be scary or unpleasant or too stressful. Some stress is good. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of SpeakElise. I really like saying that, SpeakElise. 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 I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm going to try and do one of these a month where I just kind of give you advice and tips and tricks and all that jazz. Also, I'm not a trained psychologist, I'm not a counsellor, I'm not a therapist. There's may not be any scientific proof to what I'm saying, except for some things that I actually really do know, then I'll say. But this is all stuff that I've been through, this is all stuff that I've worked through, that I'm working through, and that I found things that I can cope, and like coping mechanisms and things that I can work with. So these are just ideas and advice and tips that I want to give to you all, so it can make things not as difficult for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know. Please leave comments. I'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe and thumbs up and all those wonderful, wonderful things that you lovely people do. And I will see you next time. Bye!